Join us today as we catch up on everything we've watched this month. Welcome back to Lobby Concessionals, the movie podcast where nobody's right and everybody's wrong. I'm Brendon, and this is Alison.
Hello.
This is new.
Yeah.
We finally got rid of them.
I get the big boy chair.
You get the big boy chair. So if everybody could like, subscribe, all that stuff, especially because we went through all that effort to get rid of them, so there's reason to like and subscribe now.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to be starting off with an after the credits today because it's been a while and things have come out.
Yeah.
Not for me. I've been sick. So the theater is not a place that I've been to a lot, but you've seen a lot of stuff.
I have, yeah.
So let's go through all the things for you.
Sure. So starting off with 3,000 Years of Longing.
Yep.
So Tilda Swinton, Idris Elba. It was great. Like, I think I expected it to be quirkier coming from George Miller.
Yeah.
To be a little more, yeah, just a little quirkier than what it was. But it just had this really interesting take on storytelling and narrative, and it was really an entertaining film for that reason. So.
The trailers look bonkers.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as that.
No, there's definitely some moments where you're like, oh, that's weird, but it wasn't quite as quirky as I thought it would be. So.
And obviously the two of them were great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're so good, and they were great together. Like they just worked nicely. Because a lot of it is sort of in a hotel room with just the two of them as well, and so they were cute together, and it was quite entertaining. It was maybe a little bit long, but also I don't know where you would have cut things.
Was it George Miller-y in the sense where, you know, it's like a super slow burn at the beginning to maybe too quick of a ramp, and by then you're just like, well, we're 2 hours in now, and
gotta keep going. I could see that actually. Yeah, that it would be. Yeah, it was a little slower to take off. You're not quite sure where you're going with it.
What's the elevator pitch? Because again, I watched the trailer, and I gotta say, I don't know what the movie's about.
That's fair. It's sort of a genie 3 wishes idea and a caution on wishing. So,
like a monkey paw situation.
Yeah, and what they've. And Tilda Swinton, right away, her character is like, I like stories. I've read a lot of stories, and I know that I shouldn't be wishing for things. Like I know that there's concern around wishes.
The self-awareness is kind of neat. Yeah,
so it was really an interesting take that way. And then also just because she's so aware of storytelling, and then that wish idea of being cautious with your wishes, it just evolves into the genie telling sort of 3 separate stories about wishing. And so it was really, it just breaks it up interestingly.
Recommend?
I would, yeah. I think if you like storytelling, I would watch it.
Oh.
So if you like the idea of stories.
That's a hard pitch.
I know. It's a little rough, but I think it was good overall. Like it's definitely a worthwhile watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've missed the window for the theater.
Yeah, I don't think it's in theater.
So it's gonna be
It didn't do well. Like it definitely wasn't a theater going.
Would a theater experience make a difference?
I don't think so. I think there was some really pretty shots, but I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
I think it's okay to watch on your TV.
That'll definitely be on the list once it hits the old on demand.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
The Woman King.
Looks incredible.
Viola Davis. Yeah, it was just so empowering and invigorating. Like it was just action and intensity the entire time, which was great. I do have one complaint.
Oh.
That there is this aspect of like female empowerment that has to come with motherhood. And I don't get that. As a 30-something woman without children, and like not planning to have children anytime soon, I think you can be a female and empowered without having children.
Yeah.
Or without being a mother. And so there was this one aspect that was put into the film where they
Is it because it's relatable? I mean,
maybe.
I mean, not to me, obviously.
Yeah.
But to maybe for a breadth of other females.
Yeah. And maybe it's just to be like, this is part of the empowerment, is that like this is something that only female bodies can do, like or you can also be a mother and be a badass, like those two can go hand in hand. But it just, not that it took away, but I think the main core of the film was just all about sisterhood and these badass women warriors, and being in an army together. And then it was sort of this weird mother-daughter thing that just took away from
I know
it
that was a not a sticking point, but a talking point for trying to justify Wanda's actions in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand it because you're not a mother. I'm like, I know a lot of mothers though.
Yeah. It's like,
and again, I don't know that I'm the right person to say that, or to maybe even to question it. Yeah. So it's interesting to hear another female's perspective and being like, well, maybe it doesn't always have to be that. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing. Like, it's sort of the well, you'd only do this if you were a mother, or like you'd go that crazy because you're a mother or something, or like you'd defy your king because you're a mother. Like, but I think it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you can definitely do those things if you just stand for the thing.
You can just care about things. But just really like beautifully done, and all the so many fantastic actresses are in that film that I'm excited to see more from them. I got hyped again just from watching trailers. I'm like, I'd run through a wall for that woman. Yeah, seriously. Like, I'm like, this is incredible. I want to be in this army.
So good. Yeah, it looks so good. So that's a highly recommend. Yeah. Okay. And perfect. That one I'm putting on the list for sure. Good. Yeah.
And then my final sort of watch was The Lost King. So lots of King movies for some reason. Yeah. So our International Film Festival is happening right now. And so this was the first. I'm not seeing very many, but this was the first movie I got to see. And so Sally Hawkins and Steve Coogan. And it's about finding the remains of Richard III.
Right up your alley.
Yeah. So very fitting too, because the Queen Elizabeth II just died, so now finding another king, but another monarch. But the coolest thing about the story is that Sally Hawkins plays Philippa, who has sort of no background in academic or like anthropology or anything about searching for a lost king. Yeah. And she's just like, no, I gotta find him because
she's a mother.
She happens to be a mother. But, no, I think it was she watches Richard III as a Shakespeare play.
Sure.
She watches it performed, and he talks about how ugly he is because he has a deformity, he has a disability. And she also has a disability that she's going through. Yeah. And so it's sort of this idea like, well, just because you have a disability doesn't make you evil, or doesn't make you, like, Shakespeare sort of implies that. Because he's a hunchback and no one likes him, he's not very pretty. Yeah. Therefore, he's evil. So she just sort of goes through it and goes like, no, I want to, actually this guy does a lot of good things. He's really cool. And so now I want to like exonerate him, like he's not this usurper who took the throne.
So it really is all your things.
It really nailed my British intrigue.
I guess for the people who don't really do a lot of film festivals and stuff, so how did you find it? Like, where did you hear about it? And where can people find it if it's just film circuits for now?
Yeah, that's true. Film festivals, like, I would definitely check. A lot of cities tend to have film festivals. Like, I'm surprised how many do. And so looking through those to see if you can find, like, just Google sort of your city's film festival. But right now, because it's in the film circuit, I don't know when it's going to have a wide release, but I think it was even going to be next month.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I thought I heard that it was coming out pretty soon. So, but I would definitely, like, there's just so many good films that come from film festivals, and especially like,
our lineup is loaded this year.
Yeah.
And loaded this year.
It usually showcases like your city as well, or your area. Like, that's what our film festival does. So I'm really, I'm missing a lot of it, but I just wish to see like all of our our homegrown films that
Yeah,
are
I
coming
just
out.
if I could right now, if I could physically sit in those old theaters,
Yeah.
it would be a thing. I'd be there every night.
That is the problem. The lack of recliner seats really, really hurts.
I just want to upgrade my film festival experience.
Yeah, that would be great. But they do have like it gives you the film festival vibe. Like you wait in line for your movie, and you sitting with everyone.
Yeah, I had a friend send me a video from Eau Claire the other night.
Oh yeah.
At the opening.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've never seen it this busy.
I know.
Never seen it. Especially that theater is in the middle of nowhere. Nobody goes to it. I think it's only got 3 screens or something like that.
6,
What?
surprisingly. I know, but they only
Where are they
use
hiding them?
5 of them. Yeah, like they're all tucked away back there.
Yeah, so I think it's great. I think it's great for those theaters to be able to get some traffic.
And a lot of them, like, unfortunately, the international ones, like we get a lot of, there's a few Korean films this year. And then there's usually, like, I saw one a couple years ago from Egypt, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
And I don't know where to find them otherwise. Like, sometimes they just don't get distributed.
Yeah.
So I think, the film festival is just really great to get out and see those things that maybe you'd never choose.
That's cool.
Otherwise,
so everybody go look up your local film festival.
Yeah.
Or at least do travel to one. Travel to a big one.
Yeah. Like, I think, like, the Toronto International Film Festival is going to be more, like, they do have some really indie films,
Yeah,
but
TIFF's
I think,
a really big one though, right?
Yeah, they always get the more popular films too, but there's lots of good ones out there.
Yeah. So, I'm just gonna get this bad stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Because I know the other thing I think we both really enjoyed.
Yeah. Fair.
So we're gonna go to like the height of film to Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah. I like Baz Luhrmann.
We're gonna go through that.
Yeah,
we're gonna dissect that a little bit because I am on the opposite spectrum. But I ended up watching Elvis.
Oh, did you?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so I'd seen a bunch of trailers and obviously all that Austin Butler hype. And that kid has got this crazy charisma. And I can see your face already. And so I'd wanted to see it despite it knowing it was a Baz Luhrmann film and there was probably going to be things I didn't enjoy about it.
Yeah.
But from everything I saw, and he was so charming in his press interviews and all that stuff. I was like, all right, if I get a chance, I'm gonna go. And I obviously physically couldn't go. It hit demand pretty quickly, which surprised me. And so threw it up. Immediately, it was on HBO Max, so crave for us.
Yeah.
And it comes up in the little bar at the bottom, and it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, this kid better be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I knew within 15 minutes I'd made a mistake.
No.
Yeah.
But you kept going. You powered through.
I knew I was coming on here and I knew I was gonna have to talk about something.
Yeah.
It'd been a while. I'm like, all right, we'll just do it. We'll just do it. And I'm like, and it's gotta maybe gets better. And I know, the first 15, 20 minutes is young Elvis and he hasn't become Elvis yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm like, I knew there's the good stuff that was coming. But it's a train wreck of a movie.
Really?
It's just a train wreck. No, so the first 20 minutes is a manic cuts and edits, and it feels like somebody with ADHD making a movie.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot of weird choices for where CG is put and where CG isn't put, which is weird to say in an Elvis movie.
Yeah. Didn't think there'd be much.
And it's weird because, again, when you talk about Baz Luhrmann, you talk about his strong suits, or you're talking about your set design, you're talking about the music and stuff like that. And they were all really odd choices.
Oh, really?
Especially in a movie with Elvis. The music speaks for itself, and the roots of the music speaks for itself. So there's an early scene where he's driving through, like, jazz clubs and stuff like that in a predominantly black neighborhood in Memphis.
Yeah.
So where he's, he learns how to do his dancing and gets his vibe from, but he plays modern hip hop over the rhythm and blues stuff.
Oh.
And he doesn't turn down the rhythm and blues.
Oh.
So it's just mixed right over top of so it's just noise.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah, and it cuts a weird manic pace, and then on top of all that, I have no idea where Tom Hanks is from. That accent is horrendous.
Oh no!
And I have no idea what he's doing.
That's
He's in a weird fat suit that is and it's tough because as great as an actor as he is, you're watching and you're like, that's Tom Hanks in a fat suit. It's not a role he loses he loses himself in or whatever like that. But I'm watching this, I'm like, the accent I cannot at all figure out.
No.
At all. I don't know where he's from.
Yeah.
I think he's Dutch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. And so and Austin Butler is actually great.
Okay, good.
He's awesome in it. And there are moments where he actually just legitimately, if you did a double take, you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the difference between, and apparently it's him singing and doing all that stuff, and he sounds spot on.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. There's a transition at the end where he's like old fat Elvis.
Oh.
And they transition to actual footage.
Oh.
And I didn't know this transition until it was afterwards.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so like really well done.
Really, really well done. And it's just the movie is crap.
Ah, that's so upsetting.
The movie is crap. And like I know you're a big Bella, and then I'm like, I knew. I'm not a fan, and I went in and I was hoping it was going to be good, and it wasn't. And the thing is you might enjoy it.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair.
You might. It's a long one though.
Because I'm like I wouldn't say I'm that much of a fan of Elvis is my issue.
Sure.
Like I think he revolutionized music in a way and like that sort of crazy fan base. But at the same time, yeah, I haven't run out to see it because I didn't think like Baz Luhrmann would be my draw, not Elvis for that. So yeah, that's a struggle. But I think Baz Luhrmann's movies usually start with like some craziness, right? Like they're usually not.
It's just a tonal shift, right? Because I think there's a couple of moments. It starts without giving too much. I mean, it's all, I guess, pseudo biographical. Yeah. It starts off with Tom Hanks being sick because this is post Elvis.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's just weird scenes with like IV bags, and it's weird tonal shifts. Yeah. Because it's a little bit more manic, and then it settles into its own thing, a rhythm. Okay. But it's still like the time jumps are strange. There's no, for something that's like 2 hours and 40 minutes autobiographical. I couldn't tell where I was in time unless something was given to me.
Yeah, like. We're releasing the song.
Yeah, like this is the song, or this is him going to war. I'm like, but we were just here, and I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden, he wasn't rich, and then he was rich, and then he wasn't rich, and I'm like, what is happening?
I always complain when some of those movies do like when they're time jumping, and it's like 1973, 1976, and I'm like, I don't need the big numbers. I know like when he has the beard, but then these movies I'm like, where are my numbers? Like,
and it's weird stuff too. Like I know everybody's been doing that kitchen thing. I think like James Gunn does it. I think Taika does it, where when you transition to like a different location, the location name is like designed to be part of the backdrop, and it's like, and he does it here, but it's so messy. Like the shots are so messy. Sometimes they just look like billboards, and I don't know if I didn't realize like that was the thing. Yeah, like, and maybe I'm the idiot. That's the thing. Maybe I'm too dumb to watch this Elvis movie.
I think the fact that like my mother is the like target audience for this Elvis movie means that like you should have gotten it. Like,
I struggled with it mightily, and I struggled through the first 20 minutes. I'm like, this was a mistake. Finished it, and was very angry.
That's so disappointing.
I'd be interested to see what you thought.
Okay,
even with and that's tough because I know Austin's gonna win you over.
I struggled a little bit with some of his interviews because while he was doing the interviews, he would still do the accent. Yeah. And like was very in character. Yeah. And I get it. Like you want to embody that person because you're trying to be true to him. But it was a little frustrating where you were like, can you just be a human being? like who are you actually? But I think like they just nailed his character. So like he just did such a good job, I feel. Yeah. Because he was that crazy. Yeah. Like, that sort of.
I think I wish they'd spend more time on his like. He is himself as charismatic. He kind of pops off the screen. So I get it. But I do wish they would have explained his attraction more.
Oh, okay.
You know, like he just steps up stage. So the trailer you see where he's in the pink suit. Yeah. And he starts to scream, and then he basically moves his hips. That's literally the scene. And the girls start to scream because they can't stand his hips. Yeah. And I wish there was an explanation that it wasn't just that.
No.
I wish there was like a
sort of this connection.
A connection. Like, what was the connection? It couldn't be just the hips.
I don't know.
And maybe it is.
Yeah.
And maybe it is. And maybe that's what I'm supposed to glean from it. But I feel like there's a missed opportunity there to really give an idea of how enigmatic he really was.
Yeah, that sort of personality that he had that drew people to him. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'll definitely suffer through the 2 hours and 40 minutes.
I don't think it'll be suffering for you.
No,
it's a long one though. Yeah, like 2.5 hours, and I started it at like 1 a.m.
Oh, why?
Why
would you?
It's my time to shine.
Yeah,
that's how my day starts.
Movie watching.
That's how my movie stuff goes.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough.
So that.
Okay.
I still get angry thinking about it. But again, it's weird. I'll sit and think about it, and I'll have moments where I'm like, yeah, but he was great. He is really, really good in that. And
what a good actor.
I hate myself for it. So the other thing I watched was a TV show, The Bear.
I did too.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a good show.
Insane. Absolutely insane. And the thing was, I was just like, it was a couple of days before Elvis. It was 2 in the morning or something like that. And I was like, Parker had recommended it. Yeah. And I was like, I'll watch it. I'll watch the first episode and we'll see how it goes. I did the entire season that night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I finished at like 6 in the morning.
Oh, so good.
And it was nonstop. Yeah. It was just like hooked right away. Mm-hmm. And it never let up. Yeah. Never let up.
Yeah. I was curious because I love cooking shows.
Yeah, same.
And so I was like, oh, like a fictional story about a chef, like this could be really good. But yeah, and I like Jeremy Allen White from
he's phenomenal.
Shameless. Yeah, so good. So I was excited. And then I watched the first episode and was like, oh yeah, okay, this is good. Like chef or burnt or whatever.
Yeah.
We're getting into that realm. But by I don't know what it was I guess second last episode, they just do the one shot through pretty much the whole episode. Yeah. And it is the anxiety and the intensity of it and just being like, I am in a kitchen. I am a chef.
Yeah, well, that was it. I had recommended to a friend right away. Yeah. And he was like, you didn't warn me about the PTSD. He'd worked in a kitchen before.
Oh, no, yeah.
So he got to that 7th episode. And he was like, I literally had to turn it off for a second and walk away and then come back.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I've been hearing, that people who work in kitchens, like they're like, yep, this is what it is. This is the nightmare.
I just think it's so well done. Yeah. And I had a long conversation with Parker via text afterwards about it. And I thought the character work was so good. Mm-hmm. That I guess we'll do spoilers. This is what this is.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Spoilers for anybody who hasn't watched The Bear, but you should go watch The Bear.
Go, yeah. Watch it.
But the character work is so good that I, even through his meltdown, I absolutely sympathize and empathize with Carmi. Yeah. And I was actually angry at the other two.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And Park was like, no. He was absolutely an asshole. I'm like, the other two weren't doing their job.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing to me. I'm like, you were fucking around with the donuts. Yeah. Sydney warned you once already. Yeah. And you were still fucking around with the donuts.
Yeah. You were not prepared for the rush. Like, you were not ready.
And I don't have a problem with Carmi being an asshole and being apologizing for it. I hate the idea that he apologizes, but they don't own up to any of their end of it.
Yeah, they don't see that
they don't see that what they screwed up on and whatnot. Yeah. Sydney, there's a little bit more of a gray area because she messed up. She's also frazzled, but she's been warned over and over, time and time again, and she's been given so much rope. Yeah. Throughout the season. Yeah. And she keeps testing the limits of what that is. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so I struggled when he blows up. I'm like, I get it. You could have handled it better. Mm-hmm. You're in the wrong, but so were they. And then in the next episode, they were just sitting around being like, Carmi's a bitch. Yeah. And I'm like, sorry, but you guys were. Yeah. So that's where I thought the character work was so good that I still related and I was still on his side. Yeah. Because I just don't think he's a bad dude.
No. I think, I'm of the same mindset where I'm like, there was both at fault where mm-hmm. like they did something wrong but Carmi reacted poorly to it. Like it shouldn't have been that drastic. Yeah. But yeah, you get like, even though you're always sort of in the restaurant, you don't leave the restaurant very often. You just get so much insight into who these people are without really like going that far or getting like, you don't have a whole episode about this one character. No. You're getting all of them, but you get enough where you're like, yeah, I know these people. Yeah. Like, and yeah, it's just so put together so well that, I mean, I think you're meant to follow Carmi and like be on his side, I think, in most cases.
Yeah, I was worried because I was wondering if, you know, he was following that new TV trend of like the hated main character, whether it's the Walter Whites or your Tony Sopranos or your Don Drapers, and I was wondering, I'm like, are they going to make him this unlikable dude, but you're still your viewpoint in? And I did feel that way.
No.
And maybe because I think I suffer from a lot of the same issues that he does, like he has the panic attacks when he sleeps and stuff, and I have the same issue and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh man, like I get it with this dude. So every little thing grates on him, everything wears him down, and it feels like what the show does a really good job of is that you're learning about the people at the same time and the same pace that he is.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
you know, you're just walking through the kitchen and you're trying to figure it all out, and you're trying to deal with this with Richie and all that stuff.
Yeah, Richie's so
everybody
great.
knows a Richie.
Yeah. Oh, I love him so much. So great.
Yeah, and it's realistic.
Yeah,
that's the thing to me, that all the characters felt like they weren't tropes, but they were they were stereotypes, but they weren't tropes. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I absolutely adored it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited. I really hope they do a second season. And
they gotta.
I know. I don't know if they've been greenlit for one though. I haven't heard anything.
I think with a little bit of, because there's a little bit of a groundswell right now for it.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering. I'm seeing a lot of memes.
Oh, are you?
I'm seeing a lot of memes.
Send me them. I need those memes. Yeah, because I think that was it. It released on FX like all at once in June or something, and then we didn't get it. Like we got it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But more recently, and then they released it weekly, which I think was just sort of. It was a strange difference. Like if you look on IMDb, it says it released all on the same day.
That's strange.
Like, why did we get it weekly?
Because I think they get theirs on Hulu, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. So
I hope so. FX has been killing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because The Patient, I'm kind of going through it now.
We've been watching. Yeah.
Man, that stuff is tense.
It is ridiculous, and like Steve Carell is doing such a great job, and I don't pin him as that kind of a guy.
No, I'm not a big Steve Carell guy either, and I am absolutely just over the moon with how good that is. Yeah. And then obviously the Atlanta has been killing it. So FX has been great. Like The Bear, I came out of nowhere. Yeah. And like I said, Parker recommended it, and I was just like, I'll just watch the one, and then we can argue about it. Yeah. It's a law of averages. He's gonna get one.
Yeah. At some point, his recommendation will go well.
It'll go well. That's it for me. Unfortunately, I haven't watched too much.
I know. I was thinking this has been sort of a slow month. I feel like I haven't gone out as much either to watch things.
But it just feels like maybe there hasn't really been like a reason to.
Yeah.
Like the releases have been like, it's like 3,000 Years of Longing and something I want to see, but it wasn't enough to get me to go.
Yeah.
Fair. And I'm admittedly still terrified of crowds and all that stuff.
And things are sort of back into full swing now. So
yeah. So it feels slow. I don't know. There hasn't been much to talk, and all the big releases have felt like they've been on streaming services.
That's true. Yeah. You get both. Like The Gray Man, for example, was like it came out on streaming and it came out in theaters. Yeah. And I was just like,
like we did Prey, and Prey was like a Disney Plus thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I would have gotten to the theater.
I would have absolutely.
So.
But I don't know what's coming up.
I know. I'm distracted by things that I think aren't coming out until like 2023, but I think they're coming out now. Like I don't know, like Amsterdam, Babylon, like
those are my two, and I think they're both this year.
They are okay.
Yeah, and then Barbie got pushed.
Yeah,
and we have the obligatory Barbie plug for you.
Yeah, Barbie's great. Please watch it. Yeah, I think it's going to be later too, and so I think I'm getting lost in the what's coming out the rest of this year. And what do I still have to wait months for? But
and I almost wonder if it's a TV thing as well, because as we're dealing with House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, Andor, She-Hulk, there's a lot going on at home.
There's a lot of TV shows right now. Yeah, and a lot of like weekly.
Yeah.
Like I haven't had this.
I haven't had 4 shows running weekly, and
no. Yeah, it's been it's been a lot to catch up on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do just a TV episode.
Yeah, we will. We'll do a big TV rundown because
Yeah.
apparently this is a TV podcast now.
Yeah. We'll just include that in there. It's fine.
Okay. Nothing else then? You're good?
No, yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Let us know if everybody's seen anything that we missed. I mean, it doesn't sound like we missed much.
No, but if there's really something out there, like
Yeah. Or if you've been to a film festival recently, let us know if you have any recommendations that we should be looking for. I think I might go to I forgot what it's called. I didn't prepare for that, but the director of Old Boy has is doing one, so I might be doing that.
Is that Decision to Leave?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I might go find a way to sit through that.
Yeah.
That's a physical thing, not a movie thing.
Yeah.
Guys.
Just the sitting in a theater.
Just the sitting. Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.